So let's do a quick search for polyfill and placeholder. Okay, so there's several options up here. The first one I looked at when I was trying to figure this out was the HTML5 placeholder polyfill. Now I worked for a long time to try to get this to work, but for some reason it just never did. So I ended up going to another choice. I checked out placeholders.js, and this one is kind of nice because it doesn't have any dependencies at all. We don't have to have jQuery or any other JavaScript for this to work. Plus it has Bower support. So if we go to the GitHub page, we can do a quick search on the page to see if there's a ready-made Bower command that we can use. And sure enough, here it is. Bower install placeholders. So let's copy this and go over to our command line, and we'll paste it in. And we'll also include the --save parameter in order to add this to our bower.json file. We'll run this. And here's an example of where we have a dependency on jQuery, but we're able to reuse the jQuery that we already downloaded. So now if we go back to the browser, let's see if we can find an example on this page. I don't see it, so let's go back to the home page. And here we go. Here's an example. So this shows some inputs and text areas with a placeholder, and then it shows the placeholder script at the very bottom of the page. Now, any polyfills that you add are typically going to be added to the very bottom of the page so it executes last. Now, we haven't talked a lot about how JavaScript works, but the order does matter. Because polyfills kind of tend to fill in the holes, we want to run them absolutely last. So let's just copy this code here, and we'll go back to our index.html file. And down here at the very bottom, right before the ending of the body tag, let's paste it in. And now this will be located in a different spot in our file system. So let's take a look under Bower components and placeholders under dist. And there's some different options here, but what we want is the placeholders.min.js. So let's adjust the path here to Bower components, placeholders, dist, placeholders.js. Now again, we're going to pick the unminified version so we can minify everything all together later. This will allow us to debug a bit easier. So let's save this. Let's go back to Chrome and refresh our page just to see if we get any JavaScript errors, which we can check in the console. If we scroll up, we can see that our placeholders are working fine right now. And so now let's jump back to IE9 and do a refresh to see if we get something better. And sure enough, here it is. The styling is a little different. The colors are darker for the select input, but this is something we can probably tweak, and everything else sure looks a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to Chrome here